Well, the main priority at the moment is just to kind of work on the pocket spiral. I think naturally with the game back home with AFL, you can do the drop punt or the rugby style kick, and you can kind of play around with that a bit. But yeah, for the most part at the moment, I'm just working on the spiral.
Did you have a kind of a backup ball there where you get the thing rotating?
Like spinning it backwards? Yeah, that's just the drop punt. So that's just the kick we do back home. We grew up doing it, much like the quarterbacks grow up throwing the ball. So that's, I guess, a good backup kick to have, because priority is going to be the spiral.
What would you say your range is, longest punt?
I haven't really ever measured it, but I think I've hit a ball about 70 yards once, which was pretty good. If I can do that every time, I'm pretty happy.
What was it like being in college as a 27-year-old?
It was interesting early. It's certainly a bit of a change. I knew what I was getting into, and my focus was to come here and get educated, and I understood that I was going to probably, I think it's Keaton's 18th birthday today, so I'm almost 10 years older than him. So that's been interesting, but it's also been good. The transition into the locker room has been pretty seamless. So, yeah, the classes early days were pretty hard. I haven't studied for a while, so sitting there in a class and paying attention for an hour and 20 minutes was a bit of a challenge.
How do you describe your relationship with Baxter?
It's very professional. He's really helping me at the moment. I'm just a sponge. I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and he's been really good at breaking it down for me and just working on the small things to start off with. But he's so knowledgeable, and I'm very, very fortunate to be learning from him.
How did it come that you become the holder?
The holder?
Well,
that was just something that through the kicking academy back home that we practice as well. So I view it as the more I can be on the pitch, the better. I can be more involved in the game. So for me, that's just a little extra. And I guess looking into the future, if I want to go to the next level as well, it's probably another string to the bow that I need to have.
Do you feel like an old guy in the locker room?
There are days that I feel like an old guy. Especially days like today where Keaton turns 18. But for the most part, if anything, it makes me feel younger, which I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. But no, it's a lot of fun, and I'm getting older, but I'm still young.
How long did you know, or how long did you think about coming to college in the US before you actually did?
I guess it was probably something that I had in the back of my mind for a while. I think back home, especially in Australian sports, there's a love of American sports. A lot of coaches try and implement things from the game over here into training and stuff back there. So we kind of have this American culture back home. And yeah, it's been something that I've had in the back of my mind for a long time.
When you say the pitch, do the guys understand what you're talking about?
I'm kind of learning the vocabulary. Baxter's been really good at sort of adjusting it to words that I'm sort of familiar with and trying to relate it back to AFL, which is very helpful because it kind of puts things in perspective for myself and where I need to sort of execute.
Are there any other words like that, like pitch? What else do you?
Yard line, trying to get my head around that because we work in metres back home, so that's been different. The whole mile thing as well, it's not really football related, but trying to get used to miles and Fahrenheit. But I kind of had a basic understanding of the game before I came over. It's just been the finer stuff that Baxter's been helping me out with.
Have you ever seen an American football game in person?
Yes, I came over probably 6 years ago now. I watched an Arizona Cardinals game in Arizona. We're actually on a football training camp, so saw a game there, and then I was fortunate enough to see a game down in San Diego as well, and then last year as well on my official visit. So it's been great to sort of have that little hit of the experience and get a taste of what it's like.
Do you have any kind of relationship with any of the other Australian punters who've come over to the NFL after the NCAA?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a little group chat so we can all sort of support each other. It's good to kind of stay in contact and just check in on each other and see how everyone's going, because it is a long move from home and some of the guys coming over are pretty young. And I guess myself being a 27-year-old, for me to kind of be a support network, I find that a pretty important thing. And it's kind of good just to stay in touch with each other as well.
Are there any of those guys in the NFL specifically right now that you've talked to a lot more?
I've got Mitch Wishnowski who's heading he'll probably get into the NFL. Jordan Berry, I've spoken to. They're very good support networks, but I've got a really close mate who's actually just gone to Utah, who I actually played with back home. and we've kind of gone through the process together. So that's been good for me, and I'm sure it's been good for him as well to kind of lean on each other.
With the kicking academies over there, is the thought of we're going to end up in, America